Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to lesson 26, where we're going to divide a unit fraction by a whole number. So today is just going to be the opposite of what we did on Monday and Tuesday, where you had the whole number first and you're dividing by a fraction. Here you have your fraction and it's going to divide by a whole number. So let's see how we do. As we look at a sample problem to start, right, we have 1/2 divided by 3. Right, we have to first think about what is our whole in here. And for a division problem, the first number always becomes our whole. So we're starting with 1/2. Right? Now, if you're thinking about our work the previous couple days, we might be thinking of some candy bars or some brownies or something that you're going to start with. Here, right, if I had a candy bar, I'm going to start with 1/2 of the candy bar. And again, showing a model with a label is truly important. Right? So I have 1/2. Here is my one whole of my candy bar or brownie. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to divide it into 3 pieces. Right? So I'm going to cut this one in and this one. And now I have my 1, 2, 3 pieces. Right? And we know with our fractions, right, we need equal pieces. This part of our candy bar here or our model is not in equal pieces. So I'm going to now divide this up into 3 pieces as well. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3. Now the question here states, okay, not how many pieces are there to give out as we did in the previous lesson. Right? If I started again with just this half, okay, and I'm breaking it up into 3 pieces, one of which is going to be for me. Right? So this one part is going to be for me. How much am I going to get? Right? I know it's a little bit different of a thinking here. So how much is this part right here that I'm going to get? Okay, if we had to put a label to it, I'm getting 1 piece out of the entire candy bar. Right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. My missing number in our equation is going to be 1/6. I'm going to get 1/6 of the candy bar. I'm not looking at how many I'm giving away or how many pieces would I have total. I'm looking at, in this particular problem, how many pieces are you going to get? Or in this case, how many is Mr. Philip going to get? I'm getting 1/6. Right? Let's try another one of those. Right? And I scroll down here. Right? And we have 1/3 divided by 5. Right? First, I have to think about my whole. My whole is going to be my 1/3. Right? So I am going to draw a model that's going to be shown 1/3. Again, labels are really important. This is how much I'm starting with. I originally, let's say that I had this whole candy bar over the course of 3 days. I ate this middle part a couple days ago on Monday. I ate this one on Tuesday. And now I'm just left with 1/3. And I want to divide it or decompose it into 5 parts. So maybe I'm giving 1 part to Harper, 1 to who am I thinking of? Emerson. I'm going to give 1 to myself, that's 3, and I'm going to give 1 to Emerson's mom, 4, and I'm going to give 1 to the dog. Okay? So in that case, I'm going to split it up into 5 parts. We know that there would be 4 lines. I'd like to double check. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. That's right. Okay. And I'm giving so many out, but I'm only going to keep 1 of those parts. Okay. So my question is, what fraction am I going to get? Well, I know I'm going to get 1 piece, but how much is that compared to the entire candy bar that I started out with? Right? In order to find that out, I need to make equal pieces. These two parts here, even though I had those and ate those the other day, they're not equal. But if I did cut those up, right, in making them 5 parts, how many total parts do I have? Well, we just mentioned that this is 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 parts. I'm going to eat one of those. My missing number, or my quotient, answer to a division problem, is going to be 1/15. I know it's sometimes hard to think, well, Mr. Philip, these parts originally aren't here, but we always want to think of in relation to the entire or the original candy bar or brownie. Right? So as we go into the problem set here, make sure that we are labeling our work, making your work neat and organized. Okay? So here we go. Page 115, which is lesson 26 problem set. And the directions ask us to draw a model, which we're going to do so. Right? And it says something with these showing your thinking with the bubbles. Right? I'm not really worried about that. Just like our previous problems in the other lessons. Right? I want to focus just on our models. And they gave us an example here, right? Noting that we had one whole candy bar or model. We showed that there was a half of it, right? And they decomposed it and cut it up into 3 pieces. And here's those 3 pieces, 1, 2, and 3. Well, how many is that all together there? Well, we have to decompose this side into the 4, 5, and 6 pieces. Right? How much if I'm going to just have one of those 3 pieces? Right? As we mentioned in the previous problem, we have 1 out of the 6 parts. Right? Again, we're wanting just one of those. So let's do another one. Now here, if you're starting to feel comfortable, you can pause the video, right? Solve the problem, or maybe you just want to start by drawing the model first and then playing and checking. That would really help you, and even being very proactive, showing that do understand parts of the work as we move through. Right? So here we go. Hopefully you took an opportunity to pause a little bit. Notice how big of a space you have. So certainly draw your work pretty large. Okay, here's my delicious looking candy bar. Okay, and I need to start with a third. So I'm going to draw my thirds and I'm going to label it. 1/3. Okay? This is the 1/3, so that means this entire thing was the whole candy bar to begin with. No matter whatever happened to these 2 pieces, you ate one, you gave one away, and the dog jumped up on the counter and ate it. Okay? Whatever it may be. But you're left with this 1/3. And we're going to now put it into 2 parts, okay, which would cut it in half. And in order to do so here, to make all our pieces equal, as part of the understanding of fractions is all equal parts, I'm going to have to do it here and here as well. Okay? And out of those, I'm really just looking for one part of it, because I'm going to eat the one, and maybe I gave the other part here to Harper, for example. What am I left with? Well, there's just one part that I have, and I can't just say 1/2, right, that I have half of it, because I really originally only had a third. So there's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 pieces. I left with 1/6. Right? And that's all you would really need to do to show your understanding of this division problem, coming up with a quotient of 1/6. Let's try another one. Got a few minutes left in my video. Again, I try not to make it more than 15 minutes for you. All right, again, pause the video and go as far as you can in trying to solve 1/3 divided by 4. And then play it and see how you did. Again, in this particular problem, you have lots of space. Make a nice big, long, easy to see model. Here's the entire thing, the entire candy bar, entire thing of brownies. Right? But I only have a third of them with me. Whatever happened to the other two pieces, not quite sure. Maybe I dropped them coming out of the oven. Right? And in this, I have one third. I needed to give it out to 4 people, me being one of them. So I'm going to then cut those into 4 pieces. And double check 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 pieces. And maybe I just was being kind one day and wanted to give those 3 other geniuses or family members those pieces. I'm looking for just the one for myself. And what am I left with? Well, that's really difficult to find out. I have the one part out of how many. I can't just say 4. Right? I have to have all equal pieces. I'm going to cut this one into fourths, and I'm going to cut this one into fourths. How many do I have altogether? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I have 1/12 of that candy bar or the pan of brownies that I have. As you notice, yes, I'm in a different location too. Harper's doing ballet downstairs. But you'll notice again how much those models mean. Please make sure that you draw them and label those. I know on Monday and Tuesday we got a little sketchy on the labels. Okay? Label your holes, label the 1/3, the 1/4, the 1/5, whatever the problem asks you. Okay? And we're going to end up right there. If you have questions, reach out to me, right, or ask the question on the class comments. If you're feeling a little uneasy, like, oh, I'm not quite sure about this, and go to the we do portion. That's where we get together as a small group to work a little bit more in depth of these problems. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing your exit tickets. And while I have you here, your exit ticket I'll put on Google Classroom, but we're going to come all the way down to letter E and letter F. Don't have a lot of space here. Okay? You can use the left-hand side of page 115, a scratch piece of paper if you need to. Don't try to squeeze some of those in. You might not have enough room to put all your labels and count neatly. Okay? You can put them off to the side here too if you're someone who writes a little bit smaller. All right. So with that said, okay, you will all do awesome with this, and I wish you the best. Reach out to me if you need it.